Trying a dissociate designer drug. Yo, what's up? It's someone that's no one, and welcome back to today's report. Today's report is coming from Blueberries off a Bluelight thread, where they took the research chemical MXM. And here's the full report details. Alright, so here we are covering a new substance, one that's been around for a good decade or so now, but really hasn't seen much attention outside of the research chemical market and community. Mexthoxmetamine is a dissociative that's reportedly similar to the more well-known research chemical MXE, or methoxetamine, which we covered in a couple reports now, which oftentimes this does get compared to ketamine with the effects, being that it's a somewhat recreational, depressant type of dissociative. MXM, on the other hand, does seem to have similar effects, but at the same time seems to be its own thing. Today's report is coming from a Bluelight thread where early users of MXM tested and discussed the possible effects and pharmacology of the substance. Blueberries left the first reports where he gives a pretty detailed summary of his somewhat binge use with it and what he felt the effects were. So this is taken from like 4 or 5 different posts over a few days, I believe, but captures well what he felt and what effects this substance can provide. This is a rare one, maybe we'll go in more in depth with it one day, I don't really know. But either way, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this, so without further ado, let's dive right into this. Just received some 3-MeO to OXO PCM. MXM, I'm not going to call it EMXE because that's a ridiculous name. I tried a small dose a few minutes ago of 20 mg, my usual MXE dose, insufflated just to be safe. I realize it will be a lot less potent, but I don't want to tempt fate. I'll wait 30 to 40 minutes before my next dose and update on effects as time goes by. However, I can't reach whole territory right now, but I'll go for it tonight. 1200 hours. 30 minutes later, just insufflated another 10 mg. No effects as of yet. 4,700 hours. Okay, I've been redosing 10 mg amounts every half an hour since I started, but about an hour ago with only threshold effects, so I started doing 20 mg increments. I must have done nearly 150 mg now, and feel very light MXE type effects. It should be known, however, that my NMDA tolerance is very high, and I usually kick off a K binge with 200 to 300 mg to get medium-ish effects from it. Probably around 500 to 600 mg s-ket as a whole. I don't do racemic. Also, when I do MXE, I use low doses, so that's why my usual MXE dose is so small in comparison. I think the duration of this is shorter than MXE, maybe 2 to 3 hours, which is why I've not been getting significant effects. I have to be sober to meet someone in about 20 minutes though. I'll step it up to 50 mg lines and report back. Did maybe a 40 mg line earlier and didn't feel much. I think I'll do a 100 mg line tomorrow morning to see if it would do anything, but for tonight, I'm out. Just did 30 mg MXE, had a spliff and some benzos, so no more testing can be done. Tomorrow, I'm gonna hole. Also, I'm not jamming 100 mg of this shit up my ass or have it swirling around in my mouth. The only ROA will be snorting, and if all else fails, possible bomb. Okay, round 2. Sorted about 50 mg this morning. Just measured out 100 mg, which I put into a gel cap, which I'll do now. I'm about to eat though, so I hope it doesn't play into its absorption too much. I'll update later. Shit, I think I'm coming up. Now at MXE-like effects, but a little more blunt than MXE, like 4-MeO PCP. I did a 50 mg line after my meal too, so 100 mg oral plus 50 mg insufflated. Okay, I was wrong. This is real euphoric. Opioid content must be through the roof here. I'm sitting with my girlfriend talking about pretty intimate things. I feel so serene and blissful. It's unlike MXE, which is a bit more chaotic. This is just peaceful and quiet. Kinda like a weed high, but less of a fucked up feeling. It's really gorgeous at the moment. 100 mg oral is my dose, so for other people it can be around 50 to 75 mg, but certainly insufflated is ineffective. God damn, this is nice. Just to know, I dropped at 12:45, and it started coming up after I finished eating, so maybe 45 minutes later at 1:30. Plateauing now at 2:21. Actually, I might try adding some chitosan to it later to see if it aids insufflation in any way. 23600 hours. Just gave my girlfriend a 100 mg gel cap. She has a similar tolerance, so we'll have third-party notes too. 4500 hours. I'm now completely cut down, so I dropped another 150 mg. My girlfriend, however, experienced no effects from the 100 mg, but it was dropped on a full stomach. She also had some MXC this morning, 30 mg, so it could have offset the effects. I told her to wait another 20 minutes before taking anything else. She feels a slight stimulant effect from it, but it could be placebo or effects from the caffeine, or the MXC. I'll update later to see what's happened with the next 150 mg gel cap, and my girlfriend's experience from it. 2500 hours. Here I am again in this godlike euphoria. I suspect that it's mostly opioidergic, but I'm not nodding like I would with opioids. So I suspect some DRI properties too, and of course NMDA antagonism to some degree. This is a real winner, just such a pity about the potency and duration. I have no idea why my girlfriend didn't experience it, but it could be explained by her abuse of MDXXs, which has been quite a lot recently. This would point to HT1A agonism instead, and serotonergic euphoria instead. I really don't have enough info at the moment to confirm its pharmacology though. All I know is, it's fucking nice. There was no come down whatsoever, but it is short, perhaps an hour and a half, but it's so good. It honestly feels like a mixture of serotonergic euphoria, like that of 5-HT1A agonism, and opioid euphoria. Basically dreamy and relaxing, but still quite lucid. I could talk and walk. Everything just felt really nicely high. The effects of the second were similar to the first, but in total doses were technically the same. I've just dropped another cap of what I think to be around 2 to 250 mg, and I hope to see its heavy effects now. There's something else that has come up. It's pretty scary, but I'm not 100% on it yet. My girlfriend has a huge speed tolerance, as in she can do a gram of pace in one line, and that's just the start of her binge. So I started to think, what if it's a dopamine releaser? It would explain all the euphoria, relaxation, everything. It would also explain why she got no effects from it. So far, no selective dopamine releasers have cropped up on the market. It's quite a stretch from PCP analogs' DRI properties, but I'm just hoping to God it's dopamine agonism. If what I think is correct, then we could have an epidemic on our hands. I'm also redosing this shit like mad. It's just so good, which confirms my thoughts further. If it is, then MXC needs to be shut down, now. It would be 10 times worse than heroin addiction. At least there's neuroprotection, but still. This is a big fucking problem. Tolerance on MXM rises fast as fuck. I'm unable to get to the same place I was at before, and I've tried multiple times. I'm now feeling size 2 gel caps instead of size 3 and getting only mild euphoria. You need to use this stuff sparingly, unlike MXC, which is unfortunate since the high is so good. I've given 50 mg to 2 other people so far. One found it amazing, no tolerance to anything. The other I haven't heard back from, but the second has a high speed tolerance just to make sure it's not a releaser. He's on coke, speed, and weed at the moment, so he's just not replying. Once I get confirmation, I'd be able to tell easier. I've just done a size 1 gel cap to see if I can get to where I was before, but I doubt it. Multiple redose days is not the way forward, however much you may want to.